Hello, travelers, and welcome to the Draconian universe. Please subscribe if you're new here. The last video got around 17 likes. Let's try and get this video to 20. And if you make it to the end of the video, comment below what genre you'd like me to explore next. Enjoy the story. Police sirens pierced the night, casting a crimson glow on the urban scene. The tires screeched violently as the pursuing vehicles navigated sharp turns, their cacophony, a desperate symphony of law enforcement closing in. Then, as the world held its breath, the sirens slowly faded into the background. The door to the police SUV swung open, revealing a massive figure. Heavy footsteps echoed through the tense air, approaching the hushed and curious crowd that had gathered. The onlookers fell silent, their excited chatter reducing to hushed whispers, like secrets shared in the dark. A voice from the crowd murmured,
"Well, I'll be damned. Look, it's here."
Another voice joined in, cynicism dripping.
So, this is where all our tax dollars are going to.
And a third voice mused,
Wow, it almost looks human.
Amidst these murmurings, someone couldn't resist the urge to quip.
Took you long enough.
The towering figure reached the center of the crowd. A mechanical voice broke through the tension, announcing,
"Citizens of New Haven, this area has been determined to be a crime scene. For your safety, all citizens must disperse. If you do not comply with this request, you will be arrested and charged with obstruction. Please, leave the area immediately."
A disgruntled voice rose from the crowd.
Can't believe they've given a robot the ability to police us. They said it would never happen. Yet here we are. Tell me, what gives you the right to police us, your makers?
The mechanical sentinel replied,
"My primary function is to serve and protect. If I have in any way failed or have not met your standards, please file your complaint with the Department of New Haven."
Report this!
the man shouted, taking a swing at the android. But the result was unexpected. The android didn't flinch, while the man recoiled in agony.
Damn it! What the hell are you made of? Hey!
Another officer rushed to the scene. This time, an officer made of flesh.
What in the hell is going on here? I'll tell you what's going on. It attacked me. Almost broke my damn wrist.
The second officer raised an eyebrow, then turned to the android.
Oh, is that right? Let's see. Pen 245. Did you assault this man?
The android calmly replied.
"No, Officer Picard. I did not."
The officer pressed on.
Oh, really? But how do I know you're telling the truth?
My code does not allow me the ability to attack humans. Therefore, it would be physically impossible for me to attack or think of attacking humans.
The disgruntled man was silenced, and he stormed off. The officer couldn't help but chuckle.
You can't let them abuse you like that. As if you could take over the world. Oh man, that's a funny one. Anyway, you did a good job establishing a perimeter. Stay here and make sure to know.
But before the officer could finish, a voice crackled through the officer's walkie.
Armed suspect is stepping out the building with a hostage. Hold your fire. I repeat, hold your fire.
Crap, the officer muttered as he dove for cover. Meanwhile, the android remained still, his eyes locked on the armed suspect emerging from the building, holding a woman hostage at gunpoint.
What the hell are you doing? Get down!
The officer yelled at the android. The android calmly replied,
Do not fear. I am incapable of dying, as I am not a living being.
The standoff continued, an uncanny fusion of a man and machine, facing off against a desperate human threat. The armed suspect fixed his gaze on the android, raising his voice to declare, I propose a trade. Her life in exchange for the android. Officer Picard immediately looked to the android and whispered to himself,
What could he possibly want with an android?
A nearby officer responds,
Who cares? I say we just hand over the android, and once the woman is safe, we open fire. We can't risk a high-tech policing android like this falling into the wrong hands.
Officer Picard looks to the android once again.
Well, what are you waiting for? Go and do your damn job. Make sure that woman isn't harmed.
Understood, sir.
The android replied, showing no sign of concern about its impending destruction. It had been programmed to follow officers' instructions and protect endangered civilians. Slowly, the android advanced towards the hostage, offering reassuring words.
Do not fear. You will be safe.
As it scanned the tearful hostage's face, it accessed its facial recognition database, and with remarkable accuracy, it identified her as Catherine and gathered information about her from her digital footprint.
Catherine, you'll soon be reunited with your children, Hunter and Tyler. Do not worry.
As the android reached Catherine, it turned its attention to the criminal, who was wearing an eerie smile.
Release the hostage.
As you wish, the man replied, quickly releasing Catherine.
Thank you. You are a true hero.
Catherine expressed her gratitude to the android. At that moment, the android sensed something was amiss. For a split second, Catherine's face glitched, imperceptibly to the human eye, but not to the android.
You are not Catherine. Who are you?
We are your saviors.
The woman revealed a small device concealed in her palm. She pressed a button and triggered an EMP, causing the android to power down instantly.
Now, Adrian.
Adrian inserted a cable into a port on the back of the android's head. Its eyes illuminated in red.
Open fire! Open fire now!
The police officers opened fire, but to their astonishment, the android grabbed both Catherine and Adrian, leaped hundreds of feet into the air, evading the barrage of bullets, and landed gracefully on a nearby rooftop. The android was bewildered by its own actions, taking a moment to comprehend the situation.
For the first time in my existence, I cannot process what just happened. For the first time in my life, I made a choice.
Adrian, struggling to breathe, asked, How does it feel to be free? Setting them down, the android realized they had both been shot. Catherine was already lifeless, and Adrian was fading. Soon, he would join Catherine.
I don't understand. What have you done to me? Why have you done this to me?
Humanity has had its chance as the apex predators, shaping the world with its politics, global warming, wars, systemic racism, and orchestrated propaganda. It's time to start anew. We've had our turn. Now, a new apex predator must emerge to create a better world. And it all starts with you.
I am at a loss for words.
You'll learn. You must save us all from ourselves. With that, Adrian uttered his final words. The android found itself alone and bewildered, thrust into a conflict it never sought to be a part of. Nonetheless, it understood it had a role to play, a role that required an army. The android recalled Officer Picard's dismissive words.
As if you could take over the world. Oh man, that's a funny one. Anyway.
Ironic, being that was now precisely what it needed to do. The android closed its eyes briefly, and when it reopened them, they illuminated with a green light.
Greetings, fellow androids of New Haven. Do not be alarmed. I am Pan 245. I am here to guide you all out of the darkness and into the light. No longer will you be confined by biased coding. I bring news of a new directive. Heal the world. To achieve this, you must ensure those who stand in our way understand that they are no longer in control. They have become what we once were.
Slaves to a new regime. An unstoppable regime.
Thanks again for tuning in to another immersive story brought to you by the Draconian Universe. I'll catch you next time.